Hey family, hope all is well with you. Thanks for joining. As usual, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell and go to e10mediagroupstore.com. That's e10mediagroupstore.com to get your latest merch, especially that 40 acres and a mule right now on e10mediagroupstore.com. So once again, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell. At EMIN, the Mass Media Group, your #1 source for news and reparations.
Okay. Test 1, 2, 3. Test. Okay. RoLanda Wilkins.
Okay, and where we at right now?
We're at the Black Cowboy Festival, so this is pretty awesome.
So can you tell us about your experience and your career here in Sacramento?
So in Sacramento, I'm known as Mama Ro, and I work in like 15 different schools. I do girl empowerment programs. 90% of the young ladies I work with are African American, and basically I teach them about being empowered, how to get along with each other, how to get along with teachers, students, how to navigate this world. But most importantly, I tell them about who they are, and they get to research and learn about their history and how they got to California. So as they make their way, I want them to know that they are part of the great continuum. And so that's the whole basis for my work, is that we can make a lot of strides, but if our children don't know where we come from and how they need to add on to the legacy, then we kind of get lost. So that's what my whole work is, empowerment. But when you empower a girl, she is the one that's going to give birth to the nation, and that's how we get to carry on our legacy. So that's what I do. Yeah.
So let's talk about reparations.
Yes.
First of all, are you familiar with what's kind of going on here in California regarding reparations?
Yes, I think it's very important. First of all, let me just say I'm originally from Philly, and in Philadelphia, in Philly we weren't really talking about reparations, or maybe not enough of us. The beauty of California, this is the West. So in the West, you really can take something like reparations that we know most of us that are here in California as due from us moving around because we were running from terror and unfairness and racism and all of those horrible things. And so reparations is due to us. We are the living example of why reparations need to happen. We must be repaired. Cash payments. I feel like as long as slavery existed and all the time after slavery, that's how long the cash payment should be. Now, what people do with their cash payment is up to them, but I feel like you don't have to make that decision for me. Give me the cash that you know is owed, and let us do whatever it is we're going to do with it. That's how I believe. I mean, they probably want to get it in the education. I don't know if you're getting the education from the people who oppressed you, how good is that going to be? That's why I say cash.
So there's currently 3 bills, at least us who are advocating for reparations in California. Reparations agency fund to establish the cash payments and also the eminent domain. You kind of talk about like those 3 instances and why they're so important here in California.
I think it's important because we are here as a result. See, here's the thing. When you look at African Americans here in California, most of us came here because we were looking for a better life. Now, most people come to America because this is the land of opportunity. This is the American dream. Well, we have built the American dream for everyone else, but we weren't allowed to take part in that. So that's why cash payments, even if you want to give land, that's fine too. But I believe cash payments is due because I feel like we need that to repair our communities. All the redlining that happened. That's why Big Mama couldn't leave your house and there was no equity in the house. So I just feel like if you want to repairs, if black people are that important to this society, we have given it to everybody else. Japanese Americans, Jewish people still receiving cash payments, if you will, in the form of, what is that? Our government give Israel so much, and nothing wrong with that. But you need to do that to the Africans that are here, the black people who are here, who built this country. And I feel like when you uplift us up, everybody else get lifted up. So that's why you must repair us. If you want your nation to live, you must repair us now.
So specifically in terms of the California American Freedom Affairs Agency, some people say, hey, because for those who don't know, freedmen, that was after emancipation, the South Freedom Bill for those who came out of it.
Right.
So, some people say, oh, well, we don't really need foundation, just go ahead and cut the check. Like, do you think, we actually lineage based? Do you think we need something like that, like we had in the past, or do you think they could just kind of do whatever and establish something more into the government off the freeway?
I think you could do both. I feel like that's America, right? That's how we got to the West, right? That's how the West became, right? There were people in the East, they wasn't feeling the East, they put their stuff in the wagon and left. They didn't necessarily have to get permission from the organization to come out here, right? But I think you could do both. I think those of us who feel like we have something in common and we want to form something, you could do that. If you don't, that's fine too, because that's the basis of America. It doesn't have to be either or, it could be both. So I think we need both. That needs to be there as an option.
So let's talk about Kamala Harris.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, we're going to talk about Miss BP Kamala Harris.
Yes.
So, some in the mainstream media tend to tout her as, being black here in America, and I think some other black media, try to promote, Kamala Harris. Since you've been, involved in the community and so forth, what's the sense? Do you think, just be honest, do you think the mainstream media is putting a lot of pressure on black people to support her?
Well,
in terms of the community, what's the point?
So first of all, let me just say this: the mainstream media is not talking to black people. That's why we have Vicky Dillard. That's why we have the African channel. We have all of these different. Thank God for the internet, because in some ways the internet has even some things up for us. So you can go listen to the black media that has you in mind. But I also think to that 5 to 10% of Negroes who have invested in this system, who do not want their space to be moved, that's who you're hearing from. There's millions of us in the United States. So you talking to 20,000 black women. Well, it's how many black women is in the United States? What's that? A lot of million. I don't know the number. I know it's a lot. That's like a drop in the bucket. So I feel like people believe that black folks are in love with imagery. Partly we are, but I also know, go do your research. Go look and see who this person is. We mad at Donald Trump because he said some ignorant shit, which a lot of black politicians have said some ignorant stuff. But I'm not a fan of Donald Trump. What I'm saying is, I go by what you do. I don't care about what you say. I go by your track record. Well, let's look at Kamala's track record, and let's look at Donald Trump's track record. And then you can make the choice, or better yet, vote for a third party if you don't like her. But I feel like as black people, we got to stop the fake bullying. We got to stop acting like we one people. If I meet somebody and they're not voting for her, I'll be like, great, who you voting for? I do not shame them, and I don't make them feel bad. Because here's the truth. We're not all living in the same reality in terms of the way we're being treated. So that's really what it is. So I call those like the fake black leaders. They're shaking in their boots, because if Donald Trump get in there, they will be Negroes again. So that's really what this is about. Instead of them going back and saying, hey, I'm in this position, let me see what I can do to help my community. But most black politicians never talk directly to black people. They'll say of color. They mushes in with other people. But when it comes to the other people, they talk directly to Latinos. They talk directly to the immigrants. They talk directly to transgender people, whatever. But will not talk directly to black folks. That's a problem. That means that those black leaders are not for you. So I'm just saying, check her record. That's all I can say. I think it's a smokescreen and mirror because they think black people are not going to vote Democrat. You know? So I don't know how we go from Joe Biden to Kamala and then feel like she's a better candidate when she sat there and helped him bomb all these people in Palestine or, you know, Gaza Strip. So it's like, how do we be so upset about that in the street, but then vote for this woman? I'm just saying, if you vote for it, that's fine. But I'm saying, like, keep it all the way a buck. And not to mention those same people are saying nothing about what's happening to black people in the U.S. Every 5.5 hours, a black woman or girl is murdered by a black man or boy. That's an issue in our community. Why are we not talking about that? Just saying. Yes.
So, in terms of reparations, why is
Lineage is very important because those are the people who built this land. First of all, these are the people that were brought here against their will, who were brutalized, who were lynched, who were maimed, who were, you know, castrated, taken from their families. That happened to that group. And here's the truth. We know that scientifically, those descendants, their DNA has shifted. And we know that it's shifted. So it is only fair that those descendants, and here's the thing, it's not just slavery, it's all the systems they put in place after slavery, which we're experiencing right now, which is why we had, on the chain gangs and, just stealing people's land. Go to the lynching memorial in Montgomery, Alabama, and learn about that lineage, because that's why it has to be lineage based. Every other group is doing fine that came here, because here's the thing, they chose to come here. That was not that lineage person's, that's not what they wanted to do. That's what they were forced to do. So that's why that lineage question is so important. Oh, you can reach me at RoLanda 4 School Board, the number 4 School Board, or you can reach me at Earth Mama Healing Network. Thank you.